Hi, I'm Mark Sipp at Crocker Farm Auction, and I'm here to discuss an outstanding example of Anna pottery that we'll be offering in our spring 2020 auction. This shoe fly jug was made by Wallace and Cornwall Kirkpatrick in Anna, Illinois in 1884. And you can see it's actually a presentation piece, which is really remarkable. This is the only presentation shoe fly jug that we've ever seen. You can see by the inscription here that it was made for S.J. Heath, ICRR of the Illinois Central Railroad, and after that it says Chicago Centralia, so this S.J. Heath figure worked on the Chicago to Centralia line of the railroad, and it bears the date 1884, as I previously mentioned. These shoe fly jugs typically have an African American woman applied to the shoulder. And you can see the example here has particularly fine modeling. You can see her hair here is actually done with a loop-like tool to give it some great texture. And that's the first example we've seen with hair done in that method with that kind of detail. Really nicely done. You can see the face has hand modeled and incised features. The dress has these incised stitch marks, and another unusual feature besides that very well done hair is the edge of the garment right here on the sleeves. The cuffs done with this triangular tool, creating a fringe type effect. Very nice. A lot of times you'll see the dress done with deeply incised scoring, indicating wrinkles or ruffles. This example is very well done in an unusual aspect with this raised burlap pattern. And you can see her stockings incised and incised shoes as well, typical of this form. Now they call it a shoe fly jug because the woman is batting a fly at the shoulder, and the fly here is molded, which is typical of this form, and the words shoe fly appear above it. So you can see her actually kind of grabbing the jug shoulder with one hand, and the other hand is sort of swatting at the fly. Another fly appears below the woman, along with the inscription, "Don't bother me." Now the shoe fly jug form is based upon T. Brigham Bishop's song, "Shoe Fly, Don't Bother Me," which was written in 1869 about an experience he had in the Civil War while working with a troop involving several African Americans. And the story goes, one member of this group, this battalion or company, however you want to word it, said something along the lines of "Shoe fly, don't bother me," in response to another soldier making an inappropriate comment about him. And so that kind of slogan stuck. A man wrote a famous song about it, and then we have, a decade and a half later, this form popping up in the Anna pottery wares. Now, shoe fly is also an alcoholic beverage of the period, and so there may be kind of like a double entendre, a double meaning there. This example is exceptional for a number of reasons. Not only does it have the great modeling on the figure, really well done figure. Sometimes the figures are much more slapdash or haphazardly done. This is a very fine rendering of the figure on this particular form. Besides that, we have the inscription that is made for this railroad worker, S.J. Heath. This is the only Anna Shoo fly jug that we've ever had that has had a presentation inscription on it. Typically, they'll just say Shoo fly, and they might say the original package on the back, and that's it. Sometimes they might be signed or dated Anna Pottery or something like that. But to actually have the name of the owner is really remarkable. The form is also exceptional. This is a flask form. You can see how it's flattened. And this is only the second, maybe the third example that's flattened like a flask that we've ever had. I believe it's the second. I think the first one we sold was over a decade ago, and then we had another example that was by the Texarkana potter, Jacob Bockley, further south, that I believe he flattened it like a flask. But typically you'll see them in a typical ovoid jug form. So that's very unusual. Then the other thing is the slogan, "Don't bother me," running vertically under the figure. This is the only Anna Shoo fly jug we've seen with that inscription either. Besides that, the paint is remarkable. We have this wonderful paint. You can often find them with traces of paint, but this has the majority of the paint intact, which is very rare. You can see this nice blue paint for the dress, red paint for the blouse, and white for the stockings. All original, done at the Pottery. In my opinion, this is the best example of this form known. Again, it also depends upon what you like, but for me, this is really remarkable, the fact that we have the owner of the piece inscribed on it. We have a different inscription underneath. We have an unusual form to it, great paint, wonderful condition too. You often find these with significant flaws. This is recently discovered in the Midwestern US, completely fresh to the market, and we're very excited to offer it in our spring 2020 auction.